Hello. Well, welcome. This week you join me on the border of Slovenia and Italy. My left testicle currently lies in Slovenia. My right testicle is in Italy. Different histories, they speak different languages, different cultures, different bureaucratic systems. Fundamentally, different testicles. The good thing is that it's an open border these days, so my testicles can hang out together as they please. But if that's not surreal enough, let's go back 40 to 50 years. Well, my testicles are not straddling a border at that point. They're straddling the Iron Curtain. My left testicle is in the Yugoslav Republic under the dictatorship of Tito. My right testicle is in Italy, enjoying its coffees in Goriška and living a free life. My testicles can't hang out together when they want, and they're subject to fundamentally different opportunities, different lives. Many people in Slovenia still harken back to the good old days under Tito. He certainly was one of the more benevolent dictators of the communist Eastern Bloc, but a dictator nonetheless. And it was a socialist republic. My left testicle's even more confused because in the last 100 years, without moving, it's been part of 4 different countries. It was the Austro-Hungarian Empire here on the left. Then it was Italy. All of this was Italy before this border became into effect in 1947. Then it was Yugoslavia. Now it's Slovenia. So it's very confused left testicle. My right testicle, Italian through and through. One of the funny little quirks of, well, I'm sure it wasn't a little quirk to the people living it, but one of the idiosyncrasies of the Yugoslav times was the winemakers couldn't make wine for themselves, so any wine they made was put into the communal pot. It was all mixed together and then distributed out amongst the people. It was actually illegal to bottle and make your own wine. So even though in Slovenia there's generations of winemakers, it's only 2 generations ago where people were able to actually put their labels on bottles and take pride in their own wines and really start cultivating and refining their wines. So that's what was one of many things that makes Slovenian wine very unique. There is a long history there, but only a relatively short history of really turning out, crafted wines from individual vineyards. And so yeah, a little bit of a plotted history for you there. In the food this week, we are celebrating the first of Brda's great crops this year, which is the cherry. There's cherry trees everywhere in this region. It's fantastic. And I got some cherries, not from any old orchard, but from the orchard of Rea Vino. Marco Rea, his daughter Maya, and his wife, they run a Biodynamic farm. Biodynamic basically is beyond organic. It's organic in line with moon cycles and various other things. Give it a Google. It's fascinating. One of the first biodynamic farmers in the UK, actually, was Jody Scheckter, who was a Formula 1 world racing car champion. Bit of trivia for you there, for your pub quiz. And I thought it would be fun to do 4 different things with the cherries. 3-course meal and a cocktail, something called a shrub. So I filmed it a bit different this week, so it's more food, less me. But let's go and enjoy a 3-course cherry meal and a cocktail.
Okay, folks, well, for our starters, we're doing chicken liver pate. So we've got some shallots that have sweated off in butter. I'm adding a little bit of cognac. I'm just flaming that off. It's also sexy for the camera. And I'm adding some Goriška Brda Merlot. I'm adding some local red wine from where I live. And we're going to reduce that down over 5 or 6 minutes until you've got a lovely base. We're going to then do our chicken livers. There's a chicken heart appeared in my chicken livers as well, but no matter. We're going to fry off our chicken livers. You just want to get some good colour on the outside of these. You don't want to cook them all the way through. You want a little bit of pink left in there as well. So when they're all fried off like that, you've got those. You've got your shallot mixture as well. And then you add them together in a food processor with a little bit of cream, a little bit of salt and pepper. Pass that through a sieve. And you have chicken liver pate. Job done. But I want to make a couple of extra additions. Now, your pate doesn't always look so appealing at this point, but we're going to add these beautiful Goriška Brda cherries that have been pitted and halved. And then for some texture, we're going to add another classic Slovenian ingredient from the Steyerska region of Slovenia, which is pumpkin seeds. These are beautiful from Kotzbek up in Steyerska. And they'll add some great texture as well. So mix those through. When that's done, you can put it into your ramekins and pop it in there. And then when it's all nicely smoothed out, you can seal it. You seal it with some clarified butter. You need a little bit more than I've got here, to be truthful. There wasn't quite enough in this jar, but put some clarified butter on there. As long as it seals over the pate, that can go in the fridge for several days, and it won't go off. I had a little bit of decoration here at the end, a little bit of thyme in the butter there as well. That goes into the fridge. Job done. So there's your starter, chicken liver pate with Goriška Brda cherries. Okay, on to the main course. In with some shallots. We're going to do a lovely Brda cherry sauce to go with a wild boar chop here. So I've put some garlic in with my shallots once that's all sweated off nicely. In go my pitted cherries. Making sure I get all those juices. Give that a little mix around. Throw in a little bit of thyme from the garden. And then in goes a generous half glass of local red wine. So you see many of the similar flavours appearing in these dishes, but just different ways to use the ingredients and the products, really. So we've got not only the local cherries, we've got the local red wine. Going to reduce all of that down over about 7 or 8 minutes, and then add a big knob of butter. And that'll bring some gloss and shine to the sauce and thicken it up a little bit. In with some salt, in with some pepper. And there you go. Super simple. That's your Goriška Brda cherry and red wine sauce, which we're then going to put over our wild boar chop. Now, good quality pork, you can serve a little on the pink side, so don't worry about that. But there you go. There's our main course, which is wild boar chop with Goriška Brda cherry and Merlot sauce. Beautiful. And then on to our dessert. So I'm going to make a clafoutis, classic French dessert here. So I've got a buttered and floured pan with some slivered almonds at the bottom of it. I've put some of our cherries in, and then we're going to get cracking on our batter. So that's flour, sugar, and salt in a bowl, and it's eggs, milk, and a little bit of vanilla extract going into the dry ingredients to make our batter. So clafoutis is just a raised pancake, basically, like a souffled pancake. So we pour the batter over the cherries and the almonds, and then that just disappears off into an oven for about 35 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. And at the end of it, you've got your Brda cherry clafoutis. And so there you go. In only 4 minutes, you've got your starter, main, and dessert, all using beautiful biodynamic cherries from Goriška Brda. Lovely. So this is the point where normally I would have Maya and Marco chomping down on the food and sharing with you how lovely it is, but the realities of having a family-run farm in this region at this time of year means it's just too busy. They are absolutely manic at the moment with harvest and also keeping on top of the wines. So you have to take my word for it. Here's our finished 3-course meal, and I did have some friends over that day and they devoured it and loved it. So I hope you enjoyed the recipes, and I wish you happy cooking.
Hey guys, so to finish, you need a drink. And I thought, what better than a cherry shrub? Now, a shrub is an old-fashioned preservation technique for fruit. It works great with cherries, it works great with raspberries or blackberries. Basically, all you do is you de-stone and chop up your fruit. You take 1 cup of fruit and 1 cup of sugar, mix it together, cover it, leave it overnight, and that sugar will extract a lot of the juice from the fruit. You then press that mixture to get rid of the solids, and you're left with this sweet syrup. And then you add a cup of good quality red wine vinegar. You mix it together, and that's your shrub. It's quite acidic with just a little bit of sweetness at the end of it, but it makes the base for some lovely, fresh summer cocktails. Now, you need a cocktail shaker for this, ideally. I don't have one where I am. But we'll improvise. So we take 1 part of our shrub mixture, Pop that in a glass. 2 parts of your alcohol. I'm using gin, you can use vodka as well. Like so. If you had a cocktail shaker, you'd do this over ice and then shake it vigorously and then pour it into your glass. I'm just going to mix the two together like this. Then I am going to get some ice and drop plenty of ice into here. Like that. And then some sparkling water. And just top it up a little bit with some sparkling water. I'm going to give that a nice stir. Put a pointless piece of mint and a reasonably pointless cherry. And there you have a very quick and easy summer cocktail, the cherry shrub. Cheers. No, zingy. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of fun. It's very simple cooking, but it just shows you how you can easily leverage seasonal ingredients to make a bit of food and have a drink. As customary, before we go, we're going to hand over to my South American cousin, Bubba Hartley. Bubba's currently 100 metres away from me in the old border hut here on this particular border crossing. Over to you, Bubba.
You know, before I get into my words of wisdom to you folks, I'd like to draw your attention to the prose written on this here wall behind me. Now, bear in mind, we are on the border of the Slovenians and the Italians, so it is a mystery unto me as to why we have English as the language of choice for this lovely insult. However, note, they are not asking anyone to suck their balls. They are politely inquiring if you would like to lick them. This shall remain a mystery to me until my dying day. Anyway, my words to you this week. It was an Italian friend of mine that once said to me words that I will never forget. He said, Bubba, boppity boopity, boppity 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 bubba, boppity boopity boppity 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 baba. These words haunt me until this very day. Enjoy your week.
Well, there you go. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know every week when I listen to Bubba, I'm a richer man, you know. I just, it's deep, sometimes too deep. That's it for another week. Listen, if you like this nonsense, do me a favour. If you click like and subscribe, that's a huge help. New channel, trying to get to 100 subscribers is the first goal and see where we go from there. So your support is massively appreciated. And please do share. Let other people know that somewhere in Slovenia, an Englishman's slowly losing his mind. And thank you. And I shall see you next week. Have a good one. Take care, guys.